Well, welcome back to the Glasshouse. It's mid-September now. It's been well over a month, I think, since I posted a video. So I thought it was time to do a quick, well, it won't be quick, sorry, but a tour around. Very, very difficult to say what my favourite plant is, but my two favourite plant families are Begonia and Pelargonium. So I thought I'd start with the Pelargonium collection that I've got here. A lot of these were bought as plants, as small plants this year, and they've come on really well over the summer in the glasshouse. They've been, although I've got insulation up now, they were at the end of the glasshouse here that got sort of full sun for most of the day, and most of them have really flourished in here. They're not big specimens because this is their first growing season, but they've come on. Most of them have come on very well, and I've got a mixture of Pelargoniums here that you'd grow for flowers. So we've got bold pixie and bold gem there, with two very vibrant coloured flowers. And at the back, we've got some scented Pelargoniums. So that's lemon kiss. That one there, very nice. Another scented one over here, size sunburst. That's that one there. In front, the lemon yellow leaves of Pelargonium Bembridge. Down the end here, I'm not so happy with these. I don't know whether when I had them, I potted them, whether these pots they're in were far too big for them, but they're not. I just don't feel they flourished as well as others. There's a Gibosum there, Triphidium. So the Gibosum's the one in the back there. I'll go in close actually in a minute. I'll stop. I'll detach the camera from the stand and go in a bit closer. But the Gibosum and the Triphidium there haven't done as well this year. Right, so I've detached the camera now. It's easier to see that way. So that there is, I believe, a species Pelargonium pseudoides. That's not done too badly, and it has beautiful magenta flowers on it. But the Gibosum here, which I like because of the very woody stem here, and has beautiful yellow flowers with a slight scent to it. You can get into that. Look at that, it's lovely, isn't it? The yellow heart, the sort of limey green petals flecked with darker green markings, utterly beautiful, but it hasn't done very well. I was hoping for it to be covered in more flowers than that. Triphidium looks like it's on its last legs here. I need to get in here and sort of cut that back, but I'm disappointed with that. This is Pelargonium Bold Shade, which is from the same range as the Bold Pixie and the Bold, what was it called? Bold Pixie and Bold Cherub that I showed earlier on. I wonder whether I've overwatered that. As I say, I think the pot might have been too big for it, which is a shame. This one's called Pink Capricorn, another gently scented one, and size Sunburst. I need to do labels for that one. Also another lemony scented one. And that, Mrs. Staplehurst, I think it's called. What's it called? Mrs. Stapleton, sorry. That one there. Again, it seems like it's struggling a little bit. But by and large, I'm really pleased with those. And they'll overwinter in here at 5 degrees, which is what I'm planning on keeping the glasshouse at over the winter. And hopefully fill out the ones that I'm not so pleased with, will fill out more next year. But they brought some colour and scent to the glasshouse this summer, and I've enjoyed having them in here. Before I move on to talk about the Begonias, I just thought I'd share this one as well. This is Pelargonium papilionaceum, and it has huge leaves on them. I mean, they're already almost as big as my hand. And again, this was another one that I saw at Coton Manor over the summer, fell in love with, and thought, I've got to have that. And it's grown a huge amount. It wasn't nearly as big as that. If I put my hand up to it, you can see how big it is now, hopefully. But it wasn't nearly as big as that when I bought it in the summer. It was much smaller. So obviously it's a very fast grower. Very pleased with that one. I've also got some hanging baskets with trailing pelargoniums in. I'm really pleased with how much they've filled out, but a bit disappointed with the amount of flower I've had on that. And I've also got a couple of wall boxes, 4 actually, sorry, not a couple, 4 wall boxes with a mixture of pelargoniums and trailing pelargoniums in. They've come in really well in the last couple of weeks actually. They've really filled out nicely. My aim is to dig them up and keep the plants over winter to replant them next year. And I know this is outside the glasshouse again, but this is a Belfast sink I've got. I've had alpines in the past, and this year I had some spare pelargoniums, so I decided to plant it up with those. And then I mentioned the begonias that are my second love. And you can see the huge leaves at the end there of Begonia Griffin. I've probably told the story before, but that was a bargain in a garden centre for £1 a few years ago. And it's been fine. I've had it at work, I've had it indoors at various different times. But under the bench here, which this gets no direct sunlight at all, under here at all, that end of the glasshouse there is north, so that's west side, so it might get a glimmer of morning sun, but nothing more than that. And that's really thrived in here. I think it's loved the warmth and the humidity in here over the summer. And next to it there is a plant called Mishmi Silver. There, I'll zoom in. Which I don't quite like. I don't like quite as much as Griffin, but it is lovely and beautiful markings on it. And then the next one I mentioned here, Begonia grandis Sapporo, and that was one of the plants I got from Barracot's plants last year, and it's really grown and come into its own this year. Let me zoom out a bit. There we are. It's really filled out this year, and I'll take it out in a minute and have a look. But I love the sheen on the leaves. You know, the begonias have this metallic sheen, don't they? They're incredible. You can't sort of pin it down almost. You lose it in photographs and films somehow. And the red underside of the leaves. I'll get that out in a minute and have a closer look. And then here is the end of my luxurians, which is growing very well. This is probably one I won't take into work, partly because because of its close resemblance to cannabis. I'd be a bit worried. And behind, well, let me get up the grandis Sapporo. Yeah, see, so I talked about the metallic nature of some begonia leaves. There's no sort of silver in it, but I don't know if you can see it, but in the light here, it has this shimmer to it that I just love. And then when you turn it over, it looks like a completely different plant, doesn't it? So if you look at it, let me turn it. If you look at it sort of that way, it's sort of more of a green plant, and if you turn it around and look at it that way, it sort of completely changes colour. They're just such amazing plants. And the flowers I love as well. They're just coming out there, beautiful. And this one is Begonia vanziana alba, which is also another Barracot plant acquisition, and probably even more so with the shimmer of the leaves there. And equally the green colouring on one side and the red colouring on the other side. It's beautiful. And that's filled out even more than the grandis Sapporo. It's yeah, it's going really well. I'm really pleased with that. So that's the pelargoniums and the begonias, and a few other honourable mentions here. This almost looks like a hedge now. It's 3 small pots with oleander in. I think I have a tendency towards liking Mediterranean plants, or plants that grow in the Mediterranean, probably remind me of holidays, but the colour in those flowers, and it hasn't stopped flowering. They haven't stopped flowering all summer. They sort of wax and wane, but they were a bargain. I think they were £5 each in Tesco's back in February, March time. So they brought a lot of joy this year. And one of the things I love about the plant community is all the swaps that go on. And I've got 2, at the moment, small brugmansias here. One non-variegated and one variegated from a plant friend, Rich, who we exchange plants with each other from time to time. I've sent him a couple of the Begonia Griffin cuttings I've had recently, and he sent me these. So I'm looking forward to those next year, because the flowers on those are just stunning. The big angel's trumpets that hang down. And then if I go in close, that's a small fig at the moment that I grew from a cutting somebody gave me. I've got two of those. One's tucked behind, you can't really see, but somebody gave me two woody cuttings back in March and said stick them in water and they'll grow. I was very doubtful, but they did. They sprouted roots. I potted them up. I'm not sure what I'll do with them, but we'll see. But it was exciting to experiment, isn't it? And I might have mentioned at the start, the cucumbers that I had in this area here, I've taken out. They stopped producing fruit that was, edible. So I pulled them up just in readiness, really, of finishing off the bubble wrapping. I've got two tomato plants left. They're both Alicante. I had two beefsteak ones, Costa Luta Fiorentina, but they were not in a good shape, so I got rid of those. I've got three cardinal pepper plants in there. Not sure if you can see that. The fruit starts on a purple colour, and as they ripen go to the deep red on the left. And I've got chilies. I don't like chilies, I don't eat them, but they make amazing colour very, very easily. So I often have a chilli plant just for decoration. And a citrus plant, a lemon, which has got quite a few small fruit on. And if I can get in close, where are we there? A large, larger fruit. Or two actually, so I can't. There we are, two large fruit there. And finally, plumbago. Ooh, let me get that way around, sorry. And a plumbago, which I'm hoping next year I can grow up and around a bit more for the beautiful sky blue flowers that they have on them. I've also grown things from seed this year, so that was an accidental one. I used to, when I had just soil in the glasshouse here and a path down the middle, a couple of years running I had some large echiums that grew. I had to take a pane of glass out of the roof to grow it out through the roof, but it helped it over winter, but that was growing in the ground, and they seed like mad. So when I was putting the gravel down this year, that was a seedling that I found. I'm not sure how successful I will be, because I don't think they are all that keen on being transplanted, but we will see. So that was a free seedling. These ones here are Echium Blue Spire, which are much smaller. Sorry, blue. Let's have a look. Blue Dwarf, sorry, not Blue Spire. And those were seeds that I bought online and have grown on. And then moving along, some Eryngium agavifolium, which I saw for the first time this year, I think at Wisley, and fell in love with and thought I want some of that in the garden. There's a blue spire there as well. But yeah, so they're going to be planted out next spring. I'm hoping they'll be okay over winter in here. An avocado, the ubiquitous avocado that I've grown from stone. And this over here is the bench with the succulents on. So I've got an Ionium Schwarzkopf, which was a freebie from my sister-in-law. I've got quite a few jade plants, mixture ones that I've had for quite a long time. My mum did a load of cuttings and gave some away, which I had a few of. This is an aloe there that it was on my parents' kitchen windowsill for a long time. They didn't want it, so I took it on, and it grew loads of pups, which I've divided this year. So I've got that one there, I've got two in there, I've got a cluster there, I've got one outside in the plant stand. And in a recent plant swap, Jerry from Planting Memories, I gave him one. I had no idea what it was actually, whether it was an aloe Haworthia or Gasteria, but somebody commented on his video that it's an aloe, so I need to go back to that and get the name of it. So yeah, sorry, Bougainvillea, that was another Tesco bargain. I think it was about £6, but it's absolutely flowered its heart out this year. It's incredible. It has these amazing pink bracts on, as most of you probably know, for a couple of weeks. They then all die off and fall off and create a glorious mess on the side here. and then a week later they're all flushed back and coming back into flower. But they're stunning. It hasn't grown much, hasn't grown up much, but I mean, they're almost eye-splitting, the colour of them. So to be honest, if it stays shrubby, do you know what, I'm all right with that, because the colour it brings is lovely. Very pleased with that. So before I move on and show you some of the new acquisitions from yesterday, I forgot to mention these on the way around. These are Mimosa, I think it's Mimosa pudica, the sensitive plants, and when you touch them, they collapse, and kids love them. I think it's a defence against insects. When the insects crawl over to eat them, you look, the leaves close up. So these were from seed from a guy called Mike, who has, I don't think he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, Mike's Rare Plants. He's got the most amazing garden down in Dorset, which I'd love to go and visit someday. But he collects seeds and sells them on, you can buy a pack of quite a few seeds, for £1. So worth checking him out if you're interested in something a bit more exotic. So a couple of weeks ago, I watched a video by a lady on YouTube, called Emma Greenwood, Emma's Jungle Plants, I think it is. I'll put a photo of her YouTube page up. And she's got an amazing plant collection, indoor plants mainly, I think. And she showed a Begonia carolinifolium, which I absolutely fell in love with. And when I went searching for it on Dibley's, I found not only do they have it, but it was also on sale. Now, I did record this as an unboxing yesterday, and in a series of events which I won't bore you with here, ended up deleting the video before saving it as an uploadable file for YouTube. Anyway, so no unboxing, but a revealing here. So this is the Begonia carolinifolium, and the reason I liked it so much was because it has large woody stems to it, and I'll insert a photograph from the Dibley's website of a more mature plant. I found not only do they have it, but it was also on sale. Now, I did record this as an unboxing yesterday, and in a series of events which I won't bore you with here, ended up deleting the video before saving it as an uploadable file for YouTube. Anyway, so no unboxing, but a revealing here. So this is the Begonia carolinifolium, and the reason I liked it so much was because it has large woody stems to it, and I'll insert a photograph from the Dibley's website of a more mature plant. It doesn't look too much there. Leaves a little bit like luxurians, but what I'm really looking forward to is the woody, I'm out of shot there, with the woody growth from the stem there. So that was the first one. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but Dibley's had a sale on, which is always dangerous, and I disappeared down a rabbit warren of bargains. The other plants that I got, Begonia succulents, doesn't look all that remarkable, I guess, but I'm interested to see how it grows as it gets older, colour of the flowers, etc, etc. I'm pleased with that. And Marmaduke was also on sale, and I think Emma mentioned this one as well, because she talked about the colour of the leaves. I'm pretty sure it was this one, and on the website it's advertised as being mainly red with flecks of green, and her one is mainly green with flecks of red. I'm pretty sure this is the one that she was talking about, but it's very curious because the leaves, those two leaves are almost opposite of each other. Not only, if I get that, no, where are we? But they are on the same plant, but look, they're completely the other way around in terms of coloration anyway. So I'm intrigued how that one comes out. I mean, I think I prefer the green fleck with red, but the red is very unusual on the front there, and yeah, it's the same on the back. So I'm intrigued how that comes out, whether it will be mainly the green with red or the other way around, but pleased with that one. The next one doesn't look very much. I've heard people talk about Little Brother Montgomery. I would call that more Little Stick, to be honest, but it has got some very two sort of fat growing points there. But it looks like, if I can get that into focus, let's have a look. Get that up. See, it looks like it has leaves a lot like Griffin, which I love. So I'm hoping in this time next year it won't be quite as disappointing perhaps as it looks now. But I'll see if I can find a picture and stick it in. But that's little brother Montgomery. And then the last two I'll mention here are Pelargoniums. Hadn't heard of them before. They're related to African violets, so they're gesneriads with those flowers, and Streptocarpus as well. I think they're all in the same family. Again, I'll put pictures of these in of more mature plants taken from the Dibley's website, because I'm not sure you quite get justice of that. But what I loved about that was it's quite a flat growing plant from that angle, wide, but look at the arrangement of leaves, the symmetry is beautiful, and the bonus of beautiful flowers. And similarly, although not so, sorry, that one is, which one's that one? Cryptica. There, let me hold it. That's Cryptica, and this is Iodiodes. Sounds like it might be Greek. I think, I don't know, I think that might have some flowers appearing on it as well. But an equally beautiful flower, beautiful plant, and quite fleshy, hairy leaves there. So a lot like the African violet type plant. So yeah, looking forward to seeing those grow on. So I'm sorry I lost the unboxing video. Quite cross with myself about that. But that was my haul from yesterday from Dibley's. I love Dibley's. So I don't get any money from them. I don't mean on YouTube, but I do love the range they have, and the quality of their service, and I'd always go back to them. Anyway, that's it for the moment. Thanks very much for listening. If you've endured it this far, and come back for more videos soon. Take care. Bye now.